What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Two-Time. Bring out another banger to the channel, man. Hey, man, I'm trying to do this for the public, big dog. I'm trying to do this for the public, bro. I'm like Batman. I'm here to guide y'all through this thing that we call life. And I'm trying to share and explore the knowledge of the football world. I'm trying to show you my knowledge of the football world so I can really get y'all through this, bro. And I'm actually back doing podcasts, bro. I know it's been a minute. I just dropped a banger literally not too long ago. So like, if you haven't seen it yet, what are you doing right now, bro? Go click on that video and then come back to this John right after, bro. In that other video, I talked about Lamar Jackson and why it's so stale and why teams have not made a move on trading for him. And I talk about the NFC South, the winners and losers. And by the way, just let you know a little secret. I said the team in Atlanta won free agency. Kind of because we got that guy named Jesse Bates. But hey, if you're still here, welcome to the channel, big dog. If you're still here, bub, today I'm going to talk about the NFL draft. I haven't really spoke about the draft recently a lot like that, but I've had a lot of things that's on my mind. And the draft is actually right around the corner. It's actually 3 weeks away. I'm actually doing this on the day that we just signed Scotty freaking Miller. Welcome to the team, big dog, bro. I'm happy to have you. You were speed steer. I seen what you did in 2020. A lot of people don't like the move. Well, a lot of non-Falcons fans don't like the move. I think it's pretty cool, especially because I've been so high on Scotty since I've seen him in 2020, and I know what he can do. But that's another day, and that's another topic for a different day. Yeah, that's another topic for a different day. But if you don't want to miss out on more banger videos like this one where I'm talking about draft and more football stuff and even NBA content, hit that bell icon to be notified every time I drop another banger video. Hit that like button, hit that sub button so you can be subscribed also to my channel, bro. I'm really trying to do this for the public, like I said, bro. I'm doing this on my free time. I got a kid, I got school I got to do. So I'm just really doing this. I wouldn't say when I'm bored because I feel like it's kind of disrespectful because like, oh yeah, he's just doing this for his boring ass self and he ain't really putting all. No, I'm actually putting in some time and some work into this, but I'm doing this on my downtime right now, just chilling. And I was like, you know what? I got some stuff about the NFL draft that I haven't really said like that. And a lot of people are probably wondering like, yo, what is Two-Time thinking? Like, what do you think of this player? Yada, yada, yada and such. So I'm going to get into all that and the mocks and the players and hot takes about this draft class. The NFL draft, if y'all don't know, is April 27th through the 29th. Of course, I'll be watching all 3 days to see what my team gets. I never miss a draft day. Draft day or draft time, I would say. I love draft time. I would say it's second to watching my Falcons because I really do love this time of year. There's a lot of mock drafts. There's a lot of young players finally getting more exposure. There's a Senior Bowl that just happened, so a lot of players are going off of that. The 40 and the Combine just happened. It's a really fun time of year. I like this time, and NBA playoffs are right around the corner, so I really do love this time of year. But I like watching my Falcons more, and I like seeing who's going to be on my Falcons. So, yeah, let's start talking about these young, fresh-legged players coming into the league. And let's actually start off with a hot take. Let's start this video off with a hot take. So, if I'm being dead honest with you, I would take the 3 tight ends, Michael Mayer, Dalton Kincaid, and Darnell Washington, before I take a wide receiver in this class. And I would take a wide receiver in this class in the second round. And now let me explain myself. Let me explain before y'all go, oh, Jackson Smith-Njigba's in this class. Like, I would take him first round. And there's Zay Flowers and Quentin Johnston and Jordan Addison. Like, why would you take a tight end before you take any of those receivers? I'm not saying any of those receivers are bad. But I'm saying the tight ends in this class could bring you a lot more than what the receivers can right now. And let me put it to you like this. So, like, there's no generational tight ends in this class. Like, there's no Kyle Pitts in this class, obviously. But, like, Michael Mayer, go look at what he did at Notre Dame. And I know you guys are going to say, look at what Jackson Smith did at Ohio State. But, like, look at what Michael Mayer can bring to an offense. So, like, the Chargers, for example, they're in a thing that was like, should we go after a tight end like Dalton Kincaid or Michael Mayer, or should we go Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers? I would say take Michael Mayer, Dalton Kincaid before I take Zay Flowers and who did I just say? Zay Flowers. Who did I just say? Or Jordan Addison. It doesn't matter. Any receiver. I would take one of those guys because I feel like that Michael Mayer would fit their offense more. Especially with Kellen Moore, the new offensive coordinator, that to run tight end sets anyway. Like, look at how good Dalton Schultz did in that Dallas offense. I would say build up your tight end so you have Michael Mayer, And then or Dalton Kincaid, who's a pass catcher tight end. If you really want another pass catcher, who's a big body, who you can't put linebackers on. Keenan Allen, Michael Williams, Dalton Kincaid, or Michael Mayer right there with Josh Palmer. That to me it doesn't sound sexier than a Jordan Addison or Zay Flowers because obviously they're faster. But I think it'll be better in the long run, and it'll give Justin Herbert more of a security blanket than just giving him a little short speed slot fast receiver. I think a lot of these receivers would be there and would be pretty good in the second round. Like Josh Downs, I think would be a pretty good pick in the second round. Like I wouldn't be in such a hurry to draft a receiver in this class. And I wouldn't say the receivers in this class are ass, or excuse my language, trash. But they're definitely not as good as last year's. Like last year, you had Drake London, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, Jahan Dotson. I don't see anybody in this class being them right now. I would have to say right now, if I looked at a receiver, like I don't think. And the same thing with, I want to say this with the corners. Like, all right, let me not get ahead of myself, and I'll explain the corners too. I don't see a wide receiver one in this class, if that makes sense. I don't see Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnston, Jake Smith, and Jigba going to an NFL team and being the best guy on the team. I just don't. Or being good at it, per se. Like, I don't see them being in a Drake London situation where they got to be the wide receiver one and being, like, the go-to guy. I don't see that in them. And that's not necessarily a problem. I just think they're more complimentary guys in this draft class. Oh, that should be a stick. Rather than just, hey, you're the guy that we're looking to on third and short. You're the guy that we need on a touchdown. We're going to you. So necessarily, that's what I'm saying. To me, I'd rather have, if you're going to have a complimentary player in this type of class, why not go get you a bigger target who's more secure and I think would be a safer pick than just going flat out receiver. You feel me? And here's where I go with Darnell Washington. I think Darnell Washington should go over any receiver in this class too, because you not only get a 6'7" tight end that is a matchup nightmare, you also get, to me, who's possibly a right or left tackle that could be that guy. I've seen Darnell Washington. I've watched Georgia for the last 3 years straight. I've watched all their big games. And the people that really stood out to me more than anybody was obviously Brock Bowers, but it was Darnell Washington. They had ran up 2 tight end sets, and to me, I think Darnell Washington would fit blocked. Oh, I blocked that. Wow, that's crazy. I think that Darnell Washington would fit perfectly in a 2 tight end set rather than getting one of these receivers as a wide receiver 3, a wide receiver 4, or a wide receiver 2, if that makes sense. So, like, what would be an example? Like, even if you could use him as your tight end 1, I'm not saying that he can't be a tight end 1. I would rather use him as a tight end 2 because of what he was at Georgia, and I feel like in order for you to get the most potential out of him, he'd be a tight end 2. So, like, for example, I had us getting Darnell Washington. Before we signed Jonnu Smith, I was really high on Darnell Washington. I wanted Darnell Washington so bad because I was like, him with Kyle Pitts, I see what he did with Brock Bowers. Imagine him with his hand in the dirt and Kyle Pitts on the outside in the slot and Drake London in the outside of the slot. And then you have a 6'7" target who doesn't like to go down that could be an edge setter. He could set the edge if you really need him to. So, like, I see more in getting something like that rather than just getting a pass catching receiver this year. And I know you would probably say, why don't you like that for all tight ends? Because not all tight ends are this deep. This tight end class is very deep, bro. Dalton Kincaid is another one of those pass catching tight ends that I would just take. I would take Michael Mayer. So I would take those guys before I take a wide receiver. So that's a hot take that I would say. Another hot take I'd have to say about this class is the corners. To me, this is a very deep corner class. This corner class has, I think, 5 or 6 tight ends. I mean, not tight ends, corners that could go first round, and they could be day one starters, like the second they walk into the building. But just like I said with the receivers, not a knock, because I think this corner class is very deeper and way better than the wide receiver class. I don't think any corners in this class can be your cornerback 1 on the team. And for me to be like that, and for me to say that as like this, I would take Christian Gonzalez with the 8th pick, no doubt about it. But I wouldn't take Christian Gonzalez and have him as my primary corner on my team. Why? Because I see what he did in college. And a lot of people like to point out he got done in against Drake London. And Drake London, to me, was, I wouldn't say the tier or the bar, but like, if you're getting done in by Drake London, obviously I love Drake London. Drake London to me is the best rookie wide receiver in this class. So it's not a knock on Drake London at all. But like, if you're getting done in by Drake London right now, or just a year ago, imagine what Devontae Adams is going to do to you, or Jamar Chase will do to you, or Justin Jefferson will do to you. And people have Christian Gonzalez as a cornerback one in this class. So if you think he's the best corner in this class, and Drake London did a number on him, imagine what these other guys are going to do. Devontae Adams will have a field day if you try to line him up like that. And I don't think he's Pat Surtain. I don't think he's J.C. Horn. I don't think he's A.J. Terrell. I just don't. I'm not saying he's not a very good corner. I would take a cornerback 2 at a top 10. Don't get it twisted. I would take a cornerback 2 in a top 10. But you just got to look at it like that. And if you have a cornerback 1 that's getting done in by your best receiver, you're not doing nothing right. Same thing with Jeff Okudah. I think Jeff Okudah would fit perfectly fine in this class. But Jeff Okudah, to me, has always been a cornerback 2. I've seen what he's done at Ohio State. I've seen how he is. He wasn't battle tested like that. And you see what happens when he got into the league. This man's getting exposed left and right. He's a cornerback 2 in the league. And that's not the problem with that. But he's not no cornerback 1. So the same thing with this class. I don't see anybody being that cornerback 1 where it's like, hey, or I don't see nobody being a Sauce Gardner where I'm going to draft you with the 4th or 3rd overall pick, and you're going to shut down the guy's best receiver. I don't see that in this class. I see this class being, hey, you got a good wide receiver too, or you need a whole left side of the field shut down. If you don't want to pick on A.J. Terrell, I'm here for that. And that's perfect. I'd rather have that than to have one good corner and then the other corner just be straight out ass. Like, that's what I'm saying. I would take a CB2 in the first round of this class. And that's perfectly fine with that. Like, for example, let's say, who would they play? Christian Gonzalez. Let's say we played the Bengals, right? Let's say you have A.J. Terrell matched up on Jamar Chase. I would feel comfortably fine. I would feel perfectly fine with Christian Gonzalez on T. Higgins. You know why? Because I know that's not like, no offense to Darren Hall or somebody. I know that's not a weak-ass corner on the other side. So I know that you can try to pick on him all you want to, but that's not no weak sauce over there. If you try him, I feel like eventually you're gonna get messed up doing that. That's what I feel like this class is like. Like, if we play the Washington Commanders and you have A.J. Terrell and Terry McLaurin, I don't have to worry about the cornerback 2 and Jahan Dotson going crazy because I got Christian Gonzalez over there. And I know that he's going to hold it down. Same thing with the Eagles. You play a lot of these teams, like now, a lot of these teams, you have 2 or 3 good receivers because that's what you need to make it. Like, unless you're the Kansas City Chiefs, a lot of these teams, for you to be good, you have 2 or 3 good guys, and you don't want no average or no scrub on the other side of the field. You want somebody that if anything happens to A.J. Terrell, he can play covering the cornerback 1 for you for a few weeks, and he can cover the number 2 guy on the team. I'm perfectly fine with spending a top 10 pick on that. So that's just what I think about it. Joey Porter, Devin Witherspoon, who's a tone setter, I think that he's very good as well. There's Keely Ringo. There's Christian Gonzalez. Who else am I missing? There's Deontay Banks. This class is very cornerback deep heavy. And they're all very good corners, no doubt about it. But there's not one Sauce Gardner in this class. So if you're looking at a corner in this class that's like, hey, this guy is going to be the Sauce Gardner is going to lead us, like the Raiders, for example. If they pick Christian Gonzalez, 9 times out of 10, he's probably going to be the cornerback 1 because the cornerback depth sucks. The cornerback room is terrible right now. I necessarily wouldn't feel comfortable Christian Gonzalez guarding the receiver 1s. Oh, wow. I can't see the ball right now. I wouldn't necessarily want him doing that right now. I would rather have him playing the cornerback 2. That's why I think like with the Falcons, he would fit with us. I'm not just saying that because that's my team. He would fit with the Falcons perfectly fine because A.J. Terrell is guarding the best receiver. Or he's over there on the other side. So he doesn't have to have the responsibility of, hey, you're a rookie, you're our best guy, we're going to you to guard the best guy. He wouldn't have to do that. So I think that these guys would thrive better in that situation rather than just, hey, we need you to be the guy. Oh, wow, I'm getting blocked like a mug. Rather than you just be the guy and you just take the best guy and cover him. So that's my take on the cornerbacks in this class. Now let's get to Bijan and the running backs in this class. This running back class is also very good. This class to me is a very good depth class. So like, I'm not saying Bijan Robinson is a depth guy because obviously he's not. He'd be the starter day 1. I'm not saying that, but like, this class is very deep. Bijan Robinson, everybody hates the fact that Bijan's projected to go in the top 10. To me, here's how I see it. Yeah, running back is the least valued position in football, no doubt about it. And running backs usually their careers die out faster than anybody else. I understand that. But here's what a lot of people don't see. Even if, let's say, you draft Bijan Robinson right now, just like with Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott got paid and everything went downhill. You can't deny him those first 3-4 years. He was the best back in football. And that he led the Cowboys to a division title and to the playoffs as a rookie. Why not get a player like that and then in 4 or 5 years later draft another one? If that's how you feel. Because you're going to get great and solid production out of him for the first 4 to 5 years. I don't necessarily like this whole Bijan Robinson's the best player in his class or top 5 player in his class, but since he's a running back, we got to take him in the second round. I don't like that. Because I understand you're building for the future, but if you can have who could arguably be the top 5 running back in the league as a rookie, why not grab him and use him for the next 4 to 5 years? As crazy as it sounds, I know this sounds like a mentality of, I know this sounds kind of crazy to sound like an owner, like you're just using him and then you're going to move on with him and he's not going to get paid and it's going to really look bad on your art. Like he's going to look bad. Like you're going to look like you don't care about the athletes. I get all that and I understand that, but I'm looking at it from a business standpoint. Y'all got to look at it from a business standpoint, dog. If you're an owner, and I understand it's wrong to think like this, if you're an owner, if you get the best back, you get him for 4 to 5 years. You get solid production. You get a top 5 running back for the next 4 to 5 years. Same thing with Ezekiel Elliott. They got the best back in the league for 4 to 5 years. Why would you not want that on your team in the first round? And it makes your life so much easier. That is a quarterback's best friend. Imagine all the throws and all the pressure that Dak had off his back because he had a guy like Zeke in the backfield. Same thing with Barkley. Barkley, I understand, got hurt his first few years, but imagine Daniel Jones is back once he got Barkley. Like, that's what you got to do. Even though I think Barkley went before Daniel Jones. You get what I'm saying? They help take the weight of the shoulders off your back. And a lot of people are saying, oh, y'all have Tyler Algier. Y'all have Cordell Patterson. Y'all don't need another running back. Why would y'all not go for like a corner or something? Here's what I always say to that. Never, ever draft in need. You always draft the best players on the board. Because the draft is not meant for, let me draft need. I need a corner. Let me go get a corner. I need a receiver. I need a receiver. That's not what it's meant for. That's what free agency is meant for. The free agency is meant for needs. You need an edge rusher. You need a receiver. That's what free agency is for. The draft is meant for you draft the best player there, and you build the best team around you like that. That's how I think the draft should work. I don't ever think it should ever be off need. So, like, we need another edge rusher, for example, and everybody's saying if Will Anderson and Tyree Wilson's gone, why not go just draft Myles Murphy? Because here's a problem with that. You reach on a player, and let's say you reach on an edge rusher, and that player doesn't turn out to be good. You just wasted 4 to 5 years right there. You just wasted 4 or 5 years because you drafted in need instead of going for the best player available who could strengthen your number and strengthen your team. I get it. We don't need Bijan. We absolutely don't. But it'd be foolish not to get a Barkley top player in this class and then just build the rest. And just build the team through the rest like that. Am I all sides? I am all sides. Damn. It'd be foolish not to do something like that. So I never ever like we need an edge rusher. Edge rusher is more important. Let's just go grab Myles Murphy. And then if Myles Murphy sucks, you just wasted 4 years of a contract when I could have went to somebody who could make use of it. And I'm not saying Myles Murphy's going to be trash. I'm not calling him dog. I'm not calling him none of that. I'm just saying as an example on why you should always go best player available. And that I don't like this whole running backs should not go first round, because if he's Bijan or if he's a guy that could really turn your team around for the next 4 to 5 years, I say go for it. Jahmyr Gibbs is another one of these players that I think should go first round. I don't think it's right for him to be a second round type running back and be there in the second round, especially because he's a home run threat. He's lightning in a bottle. He can flip a momentum that's like that. Like, let's say your offense is stagnant and the score is like 14-10 and you really need a momentum boost. Jahmyr Gibbs can provide that for you. If you need a big play, he can flip the play for you like that in an instant of 10 seconds. He's really that guy. So I don't like the fact that, just because he's a running back, we need to take him in the second round. No. If he's there for you and he can help make your team and he's a great pass catcher, why not go for that in the first round? You feel me? So that's just my perspective on what teams should really do instead of just, hey, let's just draft need. And that's just me being honest with you. Same thing with this edge class. This edge class is also a very deep edge class. And I know I've been saying that a lot, but this class is very depth and very deep. So I don't believe in really reaching. Oh, I should have been a pick. I don't really believe in reaching for an edge rusher so early in the first round. Because I understand people need edge rushers and it's important to get up to the quarterback. But I don't really think that you need to reach on edge like that in this draft class anyway because of how deep this class is. And that should have been his stick. You have guys like Felix and Keon White and who else am I missing? You have Luke Van Ness. You have Miles Murphy. You got who else? Tyree Wilson. You have Will Anderson. You have guys that you don't need to go first round if needed for edge. You can wait second round. So this class is very deep anyway. And I really do love this edge class. And I think that this edge class can really help out a team as well. I don't think they can be your primary edge unless your name is Will Anderson. I don't see anybody being like your edge one. But this class can really help you with the pass rush if needed. So there's my take on the edge rushes of this class. What other class? What am I missing? The quarterbacks, y'all already know about how I feel about the quarterbacks. I think y'all should know. Bryce Young is him. Oh, here's a hot take right here too. If Bryce Young falls number 2 to the Texans, and with the 12th pick, the Texans take a receiver like Jordan Addison or Jackson and Jigba or Quentin Johnston, they're going to the playoffs. You heard it here first. They will go to the playoffs year 1. That's how much faith I have in Bryce Young. I've never seen, well, I'm not going to say never, but I've seen this dude for 2 years be the best player in college at 5'10". This man makes throws that no other quarterback in the last 3 classes have done. I don't care. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, I'm not saying he's better than them, but the way that this man can make throws, and a lot of people don't seem to understand this either. Excuse me. Who is Bryce Young throwing the football to? And that's how good Alabama is. I mean, not how good Alabama is. This is how good Bryce is. Who is Bryce Young throwing the football to? Jermaine Burton? You can't name a wide receiver 1 in this class or a wide receiver in this class that he was throwing to that any other quarterback wouldn't struggle with. And he didn't even struggle this year. This man still threw for 400 yards or 430 yards versus Tennessee without a wide receiver 1 like that. And everybody's saying, oh, he lost 2 games, and oh, he's 5'10", and oh, how can he be the best quarterback in the last 3-4 years to Uzziah? You look at who he's throwing to, bro. Look at who he's throwing to, bro. Trevor Lawrence was throwing it to Justin Ross and T. Higgins. Joe Burrow was throwing it to Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Who else? Justin Fields throwing it to Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like, oh no, I don't think he had Jackson Smith at the time. I think he had J-Mo at the time. Because Jackson Smith had to have been a freshman when Justin Fields was a junior. But he was throwing it to Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. And Chris Olave, to me, is the greatest wide receiver in Ohio State history. Like, these players are throwing it to these high-caliber-ass receivers. Even C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud is throwing it to Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Garrett Wilson. This man, Bryce Young, he had J-Mo the year before that, and look what he did. He took him to a national championship, and he won the SEC championship. Imagine if he had a Marvin Harrison Jr. on his team, or Justin Jefferson on his team, or Jamar Chase on his team. That dude would be freaking insane. That team would be destined to win every freaking year. So that's my piece on that. That's why I have so high praise on Bryce Young, because I've seen what he did with receivers that aren't Garrett Wilson, that aren't Jamar Chase, that aren't Justin Jefferson, and he still led them to new heights, and he still showed that greatness. Go look at the Kansas State game and go look at the throws he was making. Those are NFL throws. You're not seeing a lot of college players make them damn throws. He is baby Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes makes those throws, and he's doing that with Jermaine Burton as his main guy. That's all I got to say, bro. Go look at the tape. Honestly, if I'm being dead honest, bro, if I'm being completely honest with you, bro, Bryce Young should be the first pick to the Panthers. As much as I hate to say it because they're in the division, Bryce Young should be the number 1 pick to the Panthers. If they go C.J. Stroud, I wouldn't say that's foolish, but I don't think that's very smart. I just don't. Because I've seen what Bryce Young can do. I've seen what Bryce Young can make with chicken salad out of chicken shit. I've seen him be that guy. And for him, if he fell to 2, honestly, I think that'd be the biggest mistake any team could make. and I think that he should be quarterback 1. But if he did fall as a 2, because I understand the size, and people are going to be like, CJ Stroud is 6'3". I would rather have a 6'3" guy that's safer in the pocket that can take care of himself, yada, yada, yada. If you feel like if you want to do that, fine. I can't argue with you on that. But if he falls past 2, that would be the biggest mistake any franchise has ever made, especially the Texans. That would be the thing that we call, when the Falcons mess up, we call it falconing, or when the Cowboys mess up, they say they're going Cowboys, they're going Cowboy. That would be a Texans, they're going to Texan. If they let Bryce Young slip and you draft AR-15 and Will Levis. That's how I think on it. Now let's get into AR-15 and Will Levis. I've opened up to AR-15 more than what I was previously on him. I still think he's not ready for the league. I still think that he should have came back a year for college. And I don't think he probably would have went over Caleb Williams, but he would have been quarterback 2 in that class, possibly, if he would have worked out. But he's still going to be a top 3, top 4 pick, so you can't deny it. I've opened up to him more. I see the tools. I see he ran a 4.4. I see the highest broad jump. I see all of that. But you can't deny the tape either when he played against teams like, I think, USF and Kentucky, and he has multiple turnover games, and he has these bad games. You can't deny that either. So him is going to be a lottery pick. He's either going to be hit or miss. If it works, you're going to look like the best player, or you're going to look like the best GM to ever coach a football team. If it doesn't work, well, you just set your franchise back for 4 to 5 years. I'm not denying the brother. I don't want to sound like a person that's denying black man and a black man's talents. I'm just going off what I know, and I can't be biased, bro. I've seen him. He played 1 year at Florida. 1 year. This is his first true year starting, and in his first true year starting, he struggled. And for some reason, he's a top 3, top 4 pick in the draft. I don't understand it, but I see from the tools why. But off of his tape, he's not a top 3, top 4 pick. Same thing goes for Will Levis. Will Levis is even worse to me because he doesn't have AR-15's tools. He has a cannon, but AR has a cannon. He doesn't run like AR. He ran an NFL-style offense in college. I get all that. Kentucky's an NFL offense in college. I get that. But he's not ready either. But you can't deny if you're being told you're going to be a top 7 pick, you obviously can't come back to college because I'd be foolish. The money's there for you. I don't think they're ready yet, and I think that if they do once they do get drafted, they shouldn't play day 1. But here's how it sounds though. AR-15 to me, even though he's not ready to play, I feel like he's one of those players that he gets better as playing. So if you're going to want to go with AR-15, you got to know that he comes with the struggles. You have to work with him a lot, and you got to probably take your time and be patient with him. The thing is with AR is I don't think he's ready, but you can't sit him on the bench. I think he gets better as by playing, and he gets better reading defenses as playing full in-game speed. I just think that's how he flows. But you just got to be patient with him. Same thing with Will Levis. Will Levis, same thing. You just got to be patient with him. He's going to get better by playing. I don't think he's going to be like a Patrick Mahomes where you have to sit him for a year. And actually, I don't know. I think he might be able to sit. I said be able twice. You might be able to get away with sitting Will Levis for a year and then possibly playing him. A lot of teams I've seen mocked for Will Levis is to the Raiders. So you could have Jimmy G play and really have him to study the defense and study the game for a year. You could do that. I wouldn't be mad at that because honestly, that's what I think he should do. AR-15, he's harder to calculate on the other hand. I don't know if you should bench him. I think he gets better while playing. It's just a hard thing to talk about with AR. So that's my whole thing on the QBs of this class. But that's pretty much all I got for right now. Let me know what y'all think, bro. What do y'all think should happen? Who do y'all think should go in the first round? Who should be the first quarterback drafted? Should y'all go in the top 10? Let me know. Let me know if I'm serious or if I'm tripping on these hot takes. Thank you for tuning in for the Mosh Pit. 2 times about to get out of here. Peace.